Late good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Brian Bridges Show. Welcome to the Brian Bridges Show. Y'all come on in for a brief moment. Had a very disturbing case I want to talk to you all tonight out of Lovejoy, Georgia. You all. This case is out of Lovejoy, Georgia, about a young sister by the name of Kalia Jones. You all. Kalia Jones was abducted and kidnapped from her job at the Wingstop, you all, by an ex-boyfriend who had kidnapped her the year before. So tonight I kind of want to talk about relationships, and you gotta let go, you all. This is the particular topic for tonight. Again, a brief conversation about relationships. Want to encourage the young men and women who are actually out there in a relationship who may be experiencing a bad breakup, you all. Again, this is a very sad case out of Lovejoy. And tonight I want to talk about a few different signs and ways that you can tell that you are in a bad relationship, that you are headed for a disaster, you all. Good afternoon, Carl, bro. Tonight we're talking about a case out of Lovejoy, Florida, where a young man had kidnapped and abducted this young lady from her job, you all. So again, this was a very sad situation, and tonight we want to briefly talk about relationships. You know, so many young men are falling victim, uh, in this particular situation, you all, because they are not letting go, and was my biggest concern, you all. You know, I don't know what we failed as men, you know, growing up, you know, actually not teaching our young men how to deal with these breakups and these certain relationships, and even also even talking to our young females and sisters, so forth and so on, about these particular little relationships as well, you all. Because then again, we find these young couples actually harming themselves, actually doing, making situations a lot worse than they actually are, you all. And then again, we have to understand that we have to let go in these particular relationships and kind of move on. If you really love somebody and care about them, these particular people, then the best thing you can do is just let them go. Try to find out a ways to, if not even work your way back into their life, you know, kind of work on yourself, kind of work on the things that may have caused you to break up or put you in a bad situation within your relationship. You cannot control these particular people. You cannot beat them up and just make them be with you. You can't be with someone who does not actually want to be with you. So again, I want to go over this case, and if you are joining me for the first time, usually we read the article, then share a brief news clip as well, so that everybody can get a different understanding and a different perspective, you all. Oh, hell no, it's the woman too many to trip about. Exactly, you all. And this is one of the reasons and one of the things that a statement that my brother Carl just made, and there's too many out there. And for these young men, if you happen to listen to this video, it is more women than it actually is men. So you have to learn to let go. It's a lot of other people out there. You are actually young, and that goes for boys and girls. You are actually young in an adult relationship that some of you are not equipped to even deal with. Some of these young men don't have the wherewithal to actually take care of themselves, let alone take care of another young lady or another individual, that may be experiencing love, who may even feel that it's love when it's actually some form of infatuation, you all. Again, this is a very sad case that I want to share with you all about this particular case. Again, it's out of Lovejoy, Georgia, where a young man, 20 years old, by the name of Cameron, you all, Cameron Hopkins, He is the young man that had actually kidnapped this little girl, and from her job. Again, that's very sad because again, it was his fault. And now this young man will be no doubt spending the rest of his life in prison. And then the girl, she did. How can you confess to actually love somebody and then decide to kill them at the same time, as though as though you're going to go on and live a better life? Your life is ruined. You are in a 5x7. You are going to have to get told when to go to bed, when to wake up, when to go to sleep, and there's nothing that you want to do. If you love somebody, you have to decide at that point that you are going to let them go. You love them enough to give them an opportunity to move on, if that's what they choose to do, to find someone that can actually treat them a little bit better than you actually did. And this is one of the things that even growing up as a young man that I myself has had to face, you all. I have been hurt before. I have had to figure out a lot of things within my relationship. I have had to make a lot of compromises and things of this nature. And when you're working on these particular things, then they become better over a period of time. But things and people don't change just overnight, you all. So again, I want to talk, and we'll get off into a little more of this situation a little later on. And said 20 years old, he didn't even get to start, and he took her life. Exactly. This little girl was 19 years old. She had a whole life ahead of her. And it's for any young lady out there who may be dealing with some young men. And these young boys tell you, they are all excited. They are actually, some of these young men get guns and they actually change. And if you have a young boyfriend who you broke up with, you have different tell signs that they may not want to let you go, and things of this nature. And this is one thing I want to talk about, even when you are actually moving on. Don't share your workplace locations. Don't be on Instagram talking about I got a new job at Popeyes, or I got a new job at AT&T. These are some of the things that you may have to do away with until you are actually out of some of these relationships. Because then I'm pretty sure this young lady, she did everything she can actually do to try to get out of a bad relationship. She even had no trespassing citation issued to this man on her job. So that means he had been around there before and things of this nature. You all, again, this was a very sad case, and I'm gonna get straight off into it and then come back into the comments. As my brother in here, my own business, and I have hurt my community. Definitely, you all. Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying, Carl, bro. Exactly. But anyway, I feel to get off into this particular news topic again. Thank you for joining me, bro. And again, for everybody who actually joined me tonight, we are actually talking about relationships. And sometimes you just have to get over these relationships, you all. So again, it says suspect in kidnapping, murder of ex-girlfriend was accused of a similar kidnapping last year, you all. So it said court records in the Clay County showed that Cameron Hopkins, 20 years old, was out of jail on a bond case that was issued in September of last year, you all. So again, this young man had kidnapped this young lady at a Walmart site location. So again, I'm under the impression that she had all the way cut this boy off, man, because even as he had this little girl in this particular car, he was calling somebody on the phone, telling them what he was about to do because she decided to break up with him and move on. And that's what go when some of these kids, they're actually growing up fast. They thinking they decide to have sex or be with somebody or give their body to a certain individuals. And this is some of these kind of actions that these young men are not ready for. And again, some of these young men think like they own these girls once they actually commit themselves and give their bodies in such a way they should actually give a man that they are married to, you all. So again, I'm not blaming this little girl because again, she was a child and again, she done all the things that she can do to try to get away from this individual, you all. So again, this was a very sad case and something that I desperately wanted to talk about tonight, you all. So it said Lovejoy, Georgia. It said the suspect identified in the kidnapping and killing Monday morning of his ex-girlfriend, Cameron Hopkins, allegedly committed a similar kidnapping charge last year. It said court records show in the Clayton County shows Hopkins, 20 years old, was out of jail in a case that on bond that was issued in September of last year. Clayton County Police said the victim in both cases was the same ex-girlfriend, 19-year-old Khalil Jones, you all. So again, condolences go out to the family of little Khalil Jones. Man, this was, like I said, sad in various senses, you all. It said in last year's incident, the Lovejoy police reported that he was seen at a Walmart parking lot walking up to the vehicle with a handgun and breaking the car window and dragging the female out of the vehicle at gunpoint, then forcing her into a vehicle before fleeing the scene, you all. So again, he had them bust the window and snatched the window the woman out of one car and made her get in his car, you all. And again, young ladies, if y'all have young men that treat y'all in such a manner, this is something that is actually going to escalate. It's actually going to get worse and more intensified. So it's best to kind of break it off with these particular individuals and try to ease on, talk to people, so forth and so on, relatives, big brothers, uncles, so forth and so on, whoever that may be in your family that's a good protected person, you all. It said Lovejoy police further reported that after taking the woman, he made contact with a family member over the phone who said he expressed his rage over a relationship ending and threatening to shoot the victim if the police attempted to pull him over, you all. It said that case is still pending on charges that include a terrorist threat, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. He was to be arraigned on these charges last month, but the court records show that he waived the arraignment and entered a not guilty plea. It said there is no further date listed until December of 25th of 2004, you all. So again, he is already scheduled to go to court for the case that he had involved with this young lady the year before. It said Hopkins is now accused of taking the woman from her workplace at the Wingstop in Fayetteville on Sunday night and leading the police on a chase to Lovejoy High School, you all. It said where he began firing and shooting both inside the car and out at the officers as they closed in on the car. Calls to 911 said a male suspect had entered the restaurant and took his ex-girlfriend and employee of the restaurant at gunpoint. It said the victim was found inside the car with several gunshot wounds and died of those injuries, you all. It says Hopkins is so far has been charged by Fayetteville police with both kidnapping and aggravated assault. Noted that the Clayton County Police Department has just a judicial system over the killing of the woman, you all. Clayton County court records indicated that he faces charges filed on Monday morning of malice murder. It said 2 counts of aggravated assault and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. So again, you all, that was concludes the news article. So they didn't really lie or fabricate nothing at all. You all, again, this is a very sad case. I do have a brief news clip that I can share with you all. Updated one today. I seen one a little more later than this actual video that came in after he had went to court and was arraigned, you all. But this one will give you more information on what had actually happened. So I'm going to take a moment and share that with you all. I believe this one was it. So again, it was a lot of different information about this particular case.
First at 5 in the last few hours, we received a 911 call from a deadly kidnapping overnight that began in Fayette County and ended in Clayton. Good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Jennifer Bellamy. And I'm Faith Jesse. And so these calls are giving us more insight into what happened.
So here we go, you all.
Kalia Jones was kidnapped from the restaurant she worked at before Clayton County police say her ex-boyfriend, Cameron Hopkins.
Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you, bro, Carl.
Has been following this story all day.
Yeah, we want 2 families, bro. Exactly.
Has been accused of
again, 2 families are bad. Like I say, these are some young kids, you all.
Cameron Hopkins was arrested for kidnapping Jones exactly 1 year ago. The same thing he's accused of doing late last night. And the 911 calls, some from family, others from co-workers, paint a chilling picture of what took place.
He tried to take her.
In this 911 call, a woman who says she's the aunt of Kalia Jones can be heard begging for help for the 19-year-old. The incident started at this Wingstop on North Glen Street in Fayetteville.
I need a police at Wingstop in Fayetteville. Don't get in the car so it's not in the car. Wingstop in Fayetteville? Yes, please, it's an emergency. Don't get in the car. What's going on there?
In the background, another woman can be heard telling Jones not to get inside of a vehicle.
He's making her get in the car. Like he's making her get in his car.
According to Clayton County Police, 20-year-old Cameron Hopkins held Jones at gunpoint and forced her to leave the Wingstop where she worked in his red Camaro. In Clayton County arrest warrants, investigators claim Hopkins led police on a chase down McDonough Road in Clayton County before officers used a pit maneuver to stop the vehicle here in front of Lovejoy High School. Fayetteville police say at one point, Hopkins fired his gun multiple times inside the car, shooting and killing Jones while also firing at officers. Authorities say Fayette County deputies used a substance similar to tear gas to make Hopkins get out of the car. Hopkins, who is now charged with murder, claimed Jones shot herself, according to warrants. Police and court records indicate Hopkins was arrested 1 year ago and charged with forcing Jones into his car at gunpoint in a Walmart parking lot in Lovejoy. He was released from jail on bond months later.
And see, that's what I say, man. Very sad thing, because again, the young man, he didn't die on the scene. They shot tear gas up in the car, and he came on up out of that thing. Very sad, because this young lady, again, was 19 years old. So condolences again to little Kalia Jones, you all. I have a daughter also named Kalia. They names spelled different. And, it's very sad to see these young ladies in this situation, in relationships with dudes who actually can't let go, you all. Again, if you're a young man out there, you do not own these girls. This is one thing that you have to know, man. It's too many girls out there to actually see, that you are actually going to meet. You have a whole, at 20 years old, 19, 17, 18 years old, 21, 22, 25, you still have a lot of life left in you, You're going to, again, meet new people. You're going to go new places, you're going to have new excitements in your life. But again, once you decide you own somebody, again, it's 2023. We doing so much fighting for our own freedom molest long, you finna take somebody else's child and claim as yours, or make them do something that they do not want to do, and people, like I say, they have a choice to either be with you or not. And man, you don't want to be with somebody that's gonna that you have to force to love you. I mean, who wants to be with somebody that you have to force them to love you, that you have to feel like you need to beat them up for them to respect you or something of this nature? If you gotta beat them, you don't definitely need them. This is something that you have to decide within yourself. You have to be strong enough. Again, move on, separate yourself. I mean, some of these places are not actually big enough for two people or a person who may feel neglected or may feel abandoned or left behind or something of this nature. You also, again, you have to separate yourself from some of you ladies. Again, when y'all get new job locations, another thing, you have to stay off a line telling everybody where you work, so forth and so on. And when you cut somebody off, you have to let them go. You have to give you both some time to actually heal from certain relationships. Again, you don't want to move too fast. You don't want to move on with somebody too fast, and you don't want to just keep your life, might I say, cooped up or combined. You want to live, but you want to live reasonable. You want to live within the well understanding, especially if you know that somebody's out there stalking you, or they may have a difficult time getting over you. Do not invite other people in a relationship when you have somebody like this that may have a few screws loose, or may be a misunderstanding person where they don't have a good understanding or good mental stability to kind of handle the things that y'all are actually going through in the first place. Again, some of these people are in relationships they should never be in the first place. And some of these tell signs of some of these dudes y'all want to be with. You want the most gangsterest boyfriend. You might think this is pretty cool. You may feel protected. But again, when you see them doing certain things that are actually telltale signs, you all, especially if they don't have these particular weapons and so forth and so on, in a legal sense, you all. Again, man, this is very sad for this young lady because, again, she was 19 years old with a whole life ahead of her. And this young man also blew his whole life. Now he sitting in lockup looking stupid. He had even said that the young lady had shot herself. How bizarre is that? Like she would have just left work, jumped in the car with you, and just shot herself. Again, man, this was a very crazy and a sad thing to do. And again, we have to find a way to talk to people. If you may see some young men out there, kind of share with them about relationships. We need to start talking to a lot of these young men about these relationships, because they don't know what to do sometimes. Some of these dudes are I guess, too cool or too macho to kind of actually talk about their feelings, so forth and so on. But man, it's obvious that man, it's a bad gap out there somewhere in this connection, you all. So let's work on that as a people and as a family, you all. Again, man, I didn't want to hold everybody long. I kind of want to talk about the little case in Alabama. It was a bad little case where this sister had seen the baby on the side of the road and decided to help the baby. Then she came up missing. So I kind of want to talk about that, but I guess we'll give that one more day to kind of unfold before I just go in on a girl accusing her of doing some Jesse Smollett type of thing, you all. But again, man, this was a very sad thing I want to share with you all tonight, and kind of talk about these relationships and how we can actually let go, you all, and this is one thing that you must do. You must let go and move on. Again, it's better than taking the life of anyone and even blowing your life, because again, you don't have a life. You will never be able to go on in a relationship, and nor with this young lady neither. It is never the right thing to do to take the life of someone because they don't make you happy or you not in a relationship with them anymore. That's the worst, most sucker-ass move you can do. How you gonna be in a prison telling somebody you done killed the girl because she broke up with you? That's one of the weakest things you can. What kind of prison gangster story is that? This is one that would never end well. Again, let me go into the comments. I don't believe she just found a baby on the side of the yeah, in that little Alabama case. At first, I was thinking, Card, that it was type of like a hologram, something, where they could have cut it on and off and then, kind of lured her into this particular situation. But again, her boyfriend didn't pop up until she actually popped up. So where was he when the the mother and father was kind of making their complaints and kind of telling the people kind of what happened? Again, they involved everyone in that case, Carl. So again, man, that's bad, and somebody got to pay for it. And even as a father, you don't have to be a father to kind of understand. We want to know what happened to you. That could have been your niece, even if that was your niece. We don't just let kidnappers get away. They don't just retire. And, we don't know if, it was actually some more girls that was actually left behind in that situation. So, again, this was a very bad situation for her to put herself in and fake like that. They even gave a $50,000 reward that no one accepted. Even the people that had actually dropped her off allegedly, or she walked there, it's too many things. I mean, she would have called the first people that she could. She would have stopped at anybody's house just to use the phone or call 911. And again, we don't know, had she actually gotten away? Was there some more girls left behind? So again, that was a crazy case, man, to actually make an alert like that, and you can't be faking, people that kidnapped you and things like that. They spend a lot of money and resources right fast in a small matter of a time to kind of put the news out, put the word out. Gas, people is coming out here with search teams and so forth and so on. So somebody gonna have to pay for this, And again, I don't want to say just yet that happened, but it's kind of the way I feel about the situation. I think the little girl faked it. Maybe her boyfriend had her to do this foolish thing, Again, if somebody had you, we don't protect them. I mean, how we protect somebody that they kidnapped you or harmed you in any type of way? That's the first thing I want to know. And even as a father, I want to go, if the police ain't making it there, I finna pull up, well, whatever I got, if it ain't nothing but a stick, we finna go see who had my baby, man, that don't go unpunished. They ain't nothing we just sweep under the rug like, okay, she home, it's cool. Man, she done been violated and probably drugged and everything else. Yeah, none of it sound right, bro, at all, So again, man, that's crazy. And man, this one gonna unfold, some people thirst for attention, and that's the wrong kind of attention to actually have, because again, they're gonna make her and her family pay for that, and they're gonna have to pay all that back. Again, making false police reports, so forth and so on. It's a list of things that they had actually done again because they used up so many resources. So again, man, that was very bad, and then why made people think that you was kidnapped, and from what her boyfriend was saying that you know, she was fighting for her life. So man, no telling, man, she could have possibly been raped. And if somebody raped you and violated your body, you want them people locked up for sure. I know I would if it was me or one of my children, you know, or one of my partner children, or you know, they parents, they mom, anybody, you know, even her. You know, I want that for them people, man, because how many more people had they had gotten? And how many more people will they get? You can't just protect them like, oh, it's cool, you stay free, man. I promise I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all know where I stay. Man, the people finna go lock them people up and lock they tail up for they can see, you know. You know, so again, man, I ain't want to hold everybody up. I'm glad you was able to join me, Carl, bro. I catch y'all tomorrow, God. For great game. Peace, God. Thank you, bro. Later. Take care.